Roadworthy jeepneys have been allowed to ply the roads again around Metro Manila, but not without difficulties. To tell us more about this, we have JC Cosico joining us live from Mandaluyong City. JC, what's up with the jeepneys? What's going on? Tell us the latest.
Sean, it's day 4 since the so-called King of the Road has been allowed back on the streets of Metro Manila, but only a few number of additional jeepney units were seen flying in some approved routes. At the Boni Calentong route, only around 5 PUJs were seen at around 7:30 this morning. That's why some passengers had to wait for about half an hour just to catch a ride. The few passenger jeepneys were already full as the passenger capacity is kept to a minimum to maintain physical distancing. We have yet to check with the LTFRB the number of PUJ units authorized to fly this route. But what we saw mostly in the area were modern jeepneys. Last week, the DOTR and the LTFRB greenlit the return of some 6,000 roadworthy traditional PUJs in 49 routes across the metro. Jeepney drivers would no longer need to apply for a special permit. However, they are required to secure a QR code from the LTFRB. The codes must be printed and displayed on jeepney units. PUJs were given until yesterday to comply with the QR code requirement as technical problems hounded LTFRB's website in the past few days. We talked to some commuters and they shared their experience this Monday morning.
Kaso paunti-unti lamang eh. Tapos punuan lagi. Ganun. Kaya mahirap. Sana maging normal na lahat. Ibalik na din yung public transport kasi mahirap talaga eh.
Mahirap pa sumakay ngayon?
Mahirap.
Bakit, sir?
Kasi limitado lang yung ng sakay ng mga pasero ngayon ng mga jeep tsaka e-jeep
Dito?
maghihintay kasi tagal nga.
Inasahan namin ng maraming gabiyahe.
Kaso ang bumungad sa inyo dito?
Wala naman eh.
Sean, the number of units and routes may still be modified depending on a passenger demand, according to transport authorities. Meanwhile, PUJ drivers and operators were told to follow transport guidelines or else they may face fines or worse, have their PAs or CPCs cancelled or suspended. Back to you.
All right, JC, you did say this is day 4 already of jeepneys being allowed back on the roads, and 6,000 of them were given the go signal. How come there's so little of them plying the roads? What exactly is the reason being given by jeepney drivers and operators?
Sean, we have yet to check with the LTFRB on this, on why there are a few number of flying jeepney units in some routes here in Metro Manila. But some jeepney drivers said that they have yet to comply with the requirements set by the agency in line with this new normal, such as having these thermal checking and of course these plastic barriers that have to be installed on their units. Sean.
All right, so I guess we can take it that they have already approved the proposal from the jeepney groups on how they will enforce social distancing inside jeepney units. So what you're saying, JC, is that maybe some of them don't have thermometers yet, thermal scanners and all of that. With regard to that QR code you were mentioning, so no special permit, but they need to get a QR code. What is that for? Is that just for law enforcement to check whether or not they really were allowed back on the roads?
Yes, Sean, PUJ drivers would no longer need to apply for a special permit, but instead they have to secure this QR code, which means these QR codes have to be displayed, in which this will determine if they are or if their units are actually allowed to fly certain areas here in Metro Manila. Sean.
All right, JC, before I let you go, one concern of jeepney drivers is that they will not make their boundaries or the usual amount that they make because they would have to allow less passengers into the jeepney units. Are there going to be fare hikes or fare adjustments as a result?
Sean, in the latest advisory sent by the LTFRB, no fare adjustments. The minimum fare for jeepney still is at 9 peso for the first 4 kilometers and 1 peso and 50 centavos per succeeding kilometer. Now, no fare adjustments shall be made unless approved by the LTFRB. Sean.
Can we expect that as the week progresses, JC, that we will see more traditional jeepneys that are roadworthy, of course, on the roads? All right, I think we lost JC just then. We'll just find out from him again a little later on that situation. Thank you very much, JC Cosico, joining us live from Mandaluyong City on this Monday morning. Meanwhile, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Camarines Sur 1st District Representative Marissa Andaya died on Sunday after battling cancer for 7 years. This was confirmed by her husband and former Congressman Rolando Andaya Jr. The Chinese General Hospital and Medical Center says it can no longer admit any new COVID-19 patients. In a statement, the Manila hospital added that it reached full capacity with more severe cases now than it had seen back in March. And the Tawi-Tawi IATF suspends the entry of LSIs and frontliners from Zamboanga City and nearby provinces. That was shortly after Tawi-Tawi recorded its first COVID-19 case. The provincial government says the patient is asymptomatic and has been isolated. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.